your ability to actually use your intuition is what can lead you to the solutions, the outcomes, and the identity that you've always desired. Your intuition is one of your most powerful senses, the sixth sense that gets unused by most people. Yet, if you learn how to sharpen your intuition, like I did over 8 years as a paramedic, making thousands of life and death decisions, sometimes with no map, no protocol, no guidance, and still finding the desired outcomes for myself, my partners, and the patient. Now, this is the same thing that you can apply over and over again in your life. In this video, I'm going to explain to you what intuition is, where it comes from, the process of sharpening it, and how you can use your intuition more in your business decisions, your relationships, and your everyday life in making the small and big decisions. Now, every successful person that I've met on my journey, every tapped in paramedic, every first responder, search and rescue worker I've met has had this ability that almost seemed like a magical ability, but it's not magical at all. It's actually an innate ability that you have inside of yourself. And here's the thing. For the longest time, we didn't have language. You and I would not be able to speak to each other the way we are now. I'm referring to like the caveman times. And in those times, when we were hunter-gatherers, when there was no real language formed yet, we had to use some other form of communication, of understanding each other. And this is what we mean by using your intuition. It's an inner voice. It's an inner feeling that now science is backing and giving us understanding of how this actually works. And the thing is, these cavemen, when they were roaming the plains of Africa or wherever they might have been, were using this sort of sensed feeling. They would look at each other and just know. And this was a same kind of feeling I cultivated with my paramedic partners on the job, when you would just look at your partner and you would both know kind of what you had to do in that situation. You'd look at the patient and you would just kind of know what was going on with them. Now, before you think this is something that you can just easily do, many of us are held back by a hidden force that keeps you away from listening to your intuition. And this hidden force is in and around you at all times in society. And we call this force fear. And fear is nothing but an illusion, but it's a powerful illusion. And the fear shows up in many different ways. It shows up as an external fear in things you read on the news, in things you see in everyday life, in the things your neighbors tell you with what's going wrong with the world. And the other part of yourself is this inner fear that comes up, what we call the shadow. The shadow is a part of yourself, neglected, split off parts of yourselves that sometimes show up as otherwise rational decisions, but actually show up as a resistance towards moving towards the thing you desire. Now, much of the suffering that you create in your life is through not listening to your intuition, your inner voice. Because I bet you've made some intuitive decisions in the past, right? And you've made some intuitive decisions. And let's actually draw a little diagram here to show you what's actually happening. You have a little intuitive pull. I should go this way. But because of all these external factors in society, because of this resistance that we talk about, because of what other people have to say about you and your situation, we create a sense of resistance. And this resistance is stronger than the intuitive pull. And then because of that, you never actually take action on your intuitive hunches. You write them off. You use your left brain logic and reasoning to be like, this doesn't make sense. Because a lot of the time, isn't it true that the intuitive decisions that you make they don't quite make sense in the moment, but as you take action towards them, you begin to see the connections of why it almost seems like some sort of divine timing of why you were meant to go this way, why you were meant to do this thing. Now, intuition, of course, as language developed, we talk about the cavemen, but as language began to develop, as we began to talk to each other, as it became easier to communicate with each other, we often lost this ability to intuitively sense. And there's still tribes in Africa that hunt using this sort of hive mind, intuition, looking at each other, kind of gauging the response from each other without actually using real language during these hunts. And they would do this for continued days, till they would find the animal they were tracking. Now, I believe we're at a special time on the planet because there's a collective awakening. People are beginning to learn that there's ability underneath all your five senses, what you can taste, smell, feel, touch. You know that you've sensed there's a little weirdness to life, right? There's a little weirdness that we can't really explain. When you think about somebody and they call you, or you know someone, your loved one, is on the way home and it's minutes later and they show up. Now, I got a story I'll tell you that happened to me when I was a paramedic that made me really believe in these sorts of sources of information that come from beyond us. And we used to have these little pagers. They were like almost like this size, like little square Motorola pagers. And you would carry the pager around with you everywhere you go. And when the pager would buzz or ring or make a noise, you'd call the station, they'd tell you what the call is, and then you'd go get in the ambulance, do the call. That's the system we were in. But many times, late at night, sleeping at the station, I would hear the pager going off. The exact tone and everything would be going off. And I'd wake up from my sleep, I'd quickly put on my boots, only to find there was no call. I would even call the dispatchers, be like, what's the call, where are we going? Be like, yeah, there's no call. Only to find, a couple minutes later, the pagers would actually go off and a call would come in. Now, if this happened to me once, I would say it's coincidence. Even if it happened a few times, I would say that's just coincidence. But dozens of times this happened. And not only me, but with my partners, other people who I was working with, this phenomena would continue to happen. And this comes to show how you receive your intuition. Because many people think of intuition as just a hunch. Oh, I just have a hunch I should be doing this. This feels right? But nobody talks about how you receive this information. So there's actually a scientific field that's emerged around this called noetics. And what noetics studies is how we receive information that comes from beyond us. Because now science is beginning to show that the brain doesn't necessarily generate its own ideas. Many of the ideas it receives come from beyond the brain. So you can think of your brain as sort of this radio receiver antenna, and its ability to tune and receive different signals is your intuition. So your intuition is always there. It's always working in some way or another. Now, there's 12 different ways you can actually, receive information that the Institute of Noetic Science has shown, IONS has shown, through all their studies. And we're not going to talk about that today. But I'll give you a few examples. Like you may receive this intuitive information through a dream, like how I was describing with the pagers. You may receive this intuitive information as a feeling in your gut. You may receive this information as hairs that stand up on the back of your neck. Everybody has this own way, their own unique way. You could say that their noetic signature, their intuitive signature of how they receive information. Now, receiving information is one thing, but then you got to do something with it. And doing something with it means you have to cultivate a sense of self-trust with yourself and your own decisions. Now, I think this is what the ancient people meant when they said, know thyself. Because even if you think about the word intuition, let's look at the word. Intuition. Tuition being to learn. In, referring to something inside. So learning inside. That's what intuition is. Inner knowing. And this inner knowing is only strengthened through understanding your own self, through understanding who you really are, through understanding your shadow self, the dark parts of you that were neglected over time, especially as a young child, that now show up as dysfunctional behaviors. I don't mean to say like dysfunctional like it's some shaming thing. It's behaviors that don't serve you, beliefs that don't serve you, ways of acting that have held you back from that bigger and more expansive version of yourself. And what happens when you start taking advantage of your intuition? What happens when you begin following this little thread, this quiet voice that can lead you to a much bigger, more expansive version of your life? Something that you've consciously desired for who knows how long. Now, there's a simple exercise I do every night that has really helped me dial in my intuition, even more so than my days as a paramedic. And this is a 10-minute routine I do every night before I go to bed. I used to say every morning and every night, but most of us are busy. We get up and we're into our day. But to make 10 minutes of space in a room, quietly alone at night, and to sit there and to tune into your body and see where tension, pain is being stored in your body. Because emotions and trapped energy, emotions get stored as trapped energy in your body. And this trapped energy oftentimes has an influence over your decision making. And by becoming aware of the tension that sits in your body, things will come to the surface. Thought loops, things you've been thinking about that were never resolved, begin coming up to the surface. Over time, just even over a few days, you'll begin to get into a state of silence. All the mental static, if you think of yourself like a radio receiver, right? You have so much mental static that comes from social media, all the chaos happening in the world, the chaos happening in your own life. And then eventually you'll find the quietness of your mind. And it's in this state of silence that you begin to hear that little intuitive whisper more loudly. You begin to hear this whisper that's been in the back of your mind that gives you these little nudges much more loudly, much more clearly. And doing this simple exercise every night for 10 minutes, you'll begin to see stronger intuitive pulls in your life, being pulled towards the things more strongly. And now this is the part that takes courage. You need to have the courage to make that decision to act. I made many decisions in my early days as a paramedic that were not the right decisions. They didn't hurt anybody, they didn't kill anybody, but they were not the right decisions. And I thought I was using my intuition at the time. Now, many people have these intuitive hits and they begin taking action towards the thing and it doesn't work out for them. And they say, it's my intuition. And they blame it and they stop using their intuition. And they say, I can't trust my intuition anymore. It led me to a bad place. But you see, especially when you're beginning to trust this ability, this inner compass, it can be so easy to write these things off and not realize that there's other parts of the shadow, subconscious beliefs that may be coming up. There's so many other ways that can distort this into intuitive pull. And it's only by continuing to trust it, despite it may not lead you to the right places all the time. That's how it strengthens. Now you may say, Ifti, there's no way I'm going to use my intuition to do some high stakes thing, change my business, change my brand, quit my job, start a channel. There's no way I'm going to use my intuition. The stakes are too high. Then what I would say is start with the little things in your life, the little intuitive pulls. I don't know, you're at the grocery store and you get an intuitive pull to buy a certain type of granola bar that you don't normally buy. And maybe it's something you've never even tried before, but you get an intuitive pull to maybe try this thing out. So you grab it. What are the stakes? You're going to buy a $5 granola bar and it's not going to work out for you? Who cares? But it may lead you to something bigger, a realization that you like these flavor of granola bars. It's these little decisions, these intuitive decisions that you can start trusting today. Then snowball them, trust them, the bigger and bigger ones, till you can make those high stakes decisions, knowing that you've made decisions like that in the past that have led to positive outcomes. This is called creating reference experiences. Now, I got thrown into the fire. When I started as a paramedic, I started doing incredibly chaotic calls right out of the gate. And I had to just trust my intuition, or somebody would get hurt, or somebody would die. And the stakes were very high to begin with. And I credit, just being able to trust my intuition in those moments for me being able to continue to use that down the line. Now, I'm doing a Stay Lucid challenge that works on this exact same thing. I'll be launching it in early August. There's a link down below for you to get on the wait list. You get on the wait list, I'll message you, we'll work out the dates and all of that, and I'll be launching that in early August. And so I'll keep you posted on that, but the link is down below. And until next time, of course, stay lucid. Do all the things. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with a friend. Until next time, peace.